here, and thank everyone out there for joining us for this very special press conference to talk about Saturday afternoon, June 5th, Kings Promotions at the 2300 Arena. The first part of a day-night doubleheader. We've had tremendous response, I believe, and Marshall Kaufman will get into it in a minute about the ticket availability. But we have two incredible shows, one beginning at 3 o'clock Eastern time. The second one begins at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And both fights, if you can't be on the scene, you can see it live on the screen on bxngtv.com. So let me first turn it over to the promoter of the event, Mr. Marshall Kaufman of Kings Promotions.
Hey, guys. How are you doing? It's great to be on here. It's great to be back in Philadelphia doing the show again. And even better yet, that we have some awesome fighters on the card. I'm looking forward to both cards. It's going to be a great event. The 3 o'clock show is going to be fantastic. The 8 o'clock show is going to be fantastic. So for those who have not got tickets yet, there's really, for the 3 o'clock show, the only tickets that are left, there's a few $50 seats left, and that's it. For the 8 o'clock show, there's a few tickets, probably about 3 tables left, and there's a few $50 tickets left as well, and that's it. So, you can tell that people have been missing boxing, and they're excited to get back, and I'm excited because I have a great lineup, from bottom to top. So I'm excited about that. Andrew, anything you want to add to that?
No, I would just echo what you said. I'm really excited to be back. I think both shows are going to be awesome shows. I'm looking forward to almost every fight. I mean, every fight is unique in some way. And, it's, exciting to me as a fan and being involved with the promotion.
We have a message from Brandon. You're coming on tomorrow night. So Brandon Robinson, he kind of wants to watch us, but he wants to come tomorrow night, Brandon. So let's just go down the card really quick, and I think that it might be. I don't know who's got the feedback here, but we have a 4-round junior welterweight bout featuring a couple pro debuters. Isaac Haynes of Albany, New York, taking on Khadir Albright, and we have Khadir here. Khadir, you want to say a few words?
What I can say is I had a beautiful training camp. I worked very hard. I stayed to the course. I actually, before this fight even came about, I was already training hard, staying on weight. So y'all could definitely expect a great performance from me.
There you have it. We also have another 4-round. So Marshall or Andrew, would you like to say anything about Khadir?
Hey, look, we just recently signed him. I'm excited about him. I did some research on him. The kid's tall. He can box. He can punch. He has an awesome trainer in Rasheem Jefferson. His mom's part of his team. It's a family affair. So he's now part of our family, and we're all family. So I'm excited about that.
There you have it. Our next bout, we have a 4-round junior welterweight bout featuring a couple guys from Brooklyn, New York, Marshall. We got 2 guys from Brooklyn on the card. Lawrence Murtag taking on Christian Bermudez, 2-0, 2 knockouts. Marshall, do you want to comment on that fight?
I'm looking forward to seeing Christian. Christian was supposed to fight on my card last March before the pandemic hit, and we got shut down, and so he wasn't able to fight. So I'm excited to see Christian fight. I haven't seen him fight yet. So I'm looking forward to it, and Murtag is a tough, durable, rugged guy who comes from a MMA background. So it's going to be exciting.
There you have it. Next up, we have a 6-round junior middleweight bout. Edgar Torres, 8-0-1 of Springfield, Virginia, take on Kayshawn Hutchinson, 7-5, 1 knockout out Reading, PA. So maybe Andrew, see if Andrew's got a word about this fight.
Yeah, this is a fight that I'm really looking forward to. Kayshawn was kind of red hot before the pandemic hit, and we had to take all that time off. So, it'd be good to see him back. Hopefully, he's firing on all cylinders, and it's going to be a tough fight. An 8-0 against a 7-5, but Kayshawn is definitely better than I think his record would speak, and it's going to be a really interesting fight.
Should be a very interesting fight. I agree with you. Next battle of the evening is very interesting as we have a kid who's making his King's Promotions debut, and I'll let Marshall speak. First, I want to bring in Joseph Jackson, 16-0 out of Greensboro, North Carolina, taking on Terrence Williams, 5-4-1 out of Harrisburg. Joseph, you're coming off a great win on Showbox. Obviously, the pandemic hit. You didn't stay idle as you signed with King's Promotions, Joseph. First of all, welcome to King's Promotions, and you're coming to a familiar arena this Saturday night, the 2300 Arena. That's where you won your Showbox fight over Derek Coleman last February. What are your words as before we see you this Saturday afternoon at 3:00?
Oh man, I'm very honored to be signed with King's Promotion. I appreciate Kaufman and King's Promotion for believing in me. I'm in good spirit about the fight, man. I feel like Terrence Williams is a durable opponent to get me back going. I'm not counting him out, but I'm not counting him in either. You know what I'm saying? I train hard for this fight. You know what I'm saying? And we definitely ready for the fight, man. For real.
Marshall, obviously, this is a big signing for King's Promotions. When you inked the deal, Joseph Jackson showed, as I guess they showed up and showed out last February when he came to Philadelphia. Obviously, he's got a 16-0 record. He's pretty advanced, and obviously he's probably not too far away. Obviously, we've seen a lot of King's Promotions fighters appear on big stages, especially over the pandemic. With both Showtime and Fox. Joseph had a little taste of that last February on Showbox. He's probably not too far behind some of your other guys like Coffey and Aleem and Michael Fox, some of the other guys who have appeared on these big platforms.
Correct. I mean, I first got to see Joe, as you said, last February on our Valentine's Day card that we had on Showbox. And it was the same card that Rais Aleem made his appearance on Showbox. And you see where Rais Aleem is now. Rais now is the interim WBA champion, and he's going to be fighting for the Unified Championship very soon. And so this is the same road I like to see Joe in. Unfortunately, Joe took off for a little bit, dealing with some management issues and whatnot. But, hey, he's back. I really liked him when I met him last year in Philadelphia, and I loved how respectful he was, and he came and showed out. He did what he was supposed to do, and I stood behind him in that situation. We had a little conflict going on about the weight, and so I kept reaching out to him and kept talking to him, and I've known the people who were involved with him for many years, and so I like him, and I see the boxing ability he has, and he's going to go down that same road that Aleem has. This is just a comeback fight, and hopefully that Terrence isn't in his way, that he takes care of business, and then we move on to bigger and better things for Joe.
Joseph, I have a question for you. The thought process, obviously, after getting a win in a high-profile situation like you did last year, the thought process in coming to King's Promotions, in the sense that you've seen what Marshall and Andrew, Marshall they've done with Rais Aleem and Michael Coffey's now knocking on the door of big fights. Michael Fox has been on the spotlight, and some other guys. So was that your thought process when coming to King's Promotions?
Yeah, I looked Marshall, Kaufman, and the team up before I signed, and I seen that they fought on a lot of big stages. Now, coming from North Carolina, you know what I'm saying, we're not big as far as boxing. We got a lot of fighters, but, as they said, they come here for opponents. And I once was an opponent and still is an opponent. I still feel like I'm an opponent. I still feel like I'm the underdog going into every fight I fight in. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I did my homework on King's Promotion, and I seen that they move their guys very well. And I feel like at this point in my career, that's what I need. You know what I'm saying? Road to this championship, road to any championship, any belt. And Marshall Kaufman got the tools to do it for me. And I'm just going to go with this road right here.
And one more question before we go on to the next fight. coming back to Philadelphia. I'm sure that that's a pretty cool thing, considering the success you had last February. The same arena, same ring, whole 9 yards. You excited to come back to Philadelphia?
I love Philly, man. Philly is a fighting state, man. Everybody in Philly is tough. Like I said, I know Terrence Williams is a tough competitor. I'm not counting them out, but I'm not counting them in either. You know what I'm saying? But I love Philly, man. I love 2300 Arena. I came to 2300 Arena one time and watched the fight. So I like the atmosphere. You know what I'm saying? We back in front of a crowd. I'm excited about that. You know what I'm saying? And I got quite a few people coming to the fight. So I probably got about 30, 40 people coming from North Carolina.
Wow.
So it's going to be exciting for me.
Well, before we get to Greg Outlaw, he mentioned something I want to ask Marshall about. Restrictions get lifted here in the city of Philadelphia tomorrow. How does it feel? You know, you're going to be one of the first events back with, a somewhat full crowd Saturday. How excited is this for you? Not only you, but boxing in Philadelphia. There's been, we've been some shows, whatever, in Philadelphia playing to half crowds, and now, restrictions are off, and talk about that for Saturday.
I mean, it's actually. I mean, what more can you ask for? I mean, look. I mean, we already had everything set up for the protocol for COVID, in regards to tables and spacing and distance. And when I knew that the restrictions were going to be off and that we can go 100% full capacity, I didn't want to change anything. I mean, look, when I talk about people are coming out deep, they're coming out deep from, the Baltimore and DC area as well. You're going to see a lot of people there cheering for Greg Outlaw just as much. And it's, I wish we had more tables and more ring size to sell for that event, because Greg Outlaw and a number of others would have taken some of them, but I'm limited. So even though I'm opening things up for some general admission tickets, but very few, I don't want to allow people to just come back and feel uncomfortable right away. So we're still going to have things opened up, and we're going to do our very best to fill the place, but it's going to be live. It really is. I mean, it's going to go crazy. It's going to be a great event. And more so, not just because of the event and because of it being opened again, because the fights are exciting. Every fight from top to bottom is exciting. You look on that sheet. You can't tell me a fight that doesn't look like it's going to be exciting. I mean, not one, And so I'm excited about that. And as you know, I always try to put my guys in very competitive fights, but I always try to put them in fights where they're going to learn and grow from, And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about from every fight from top to bottom. And I'm really, I can't wait to see the main event, Devar Ferhadi and Blake Mansfield. That's going to be exciting, So every fight from top to bottom is going to be, it's going to be on fire.
Well, it's exciting for me is I get to spend 12 hours with Marshall and Andrew Foy. So that's worth it for me alone. So, So, and as Marshall segued in, we have another intriguing junior welterweight clash featuring undefeated 8-3 knockouts from Bowie, Maryland. Sharpshooter Greg Outlaw. He's taking on Andrew Rogers. We have Greg Outlaw here. Greg, tell the fans out there about your excitement for this Saturday.
Thanks for having me. It's been 2 years. I haven't fought in 2 years. I got hurt, tore my meniscus, and then COVID hit. So this is a very exciting comeback fight for me. If you don't know, I will have the arena. Well, of course, no disrespect to the other fighters, but I sell a lot of tickets, so you'll see GSO shirts, as you see in the background. You'll see them shirts everywhere around the arena, circling everybody. So my presence will be felt in and out the ring.
Marshall, he's 8-0, 3 knockouts. Talk about Greg as a prospect.
Greg's had a rough road, as he said, with the injuries and COVID. I almost, in a sense, started Greg's career out with Ross Molovinsky down in the Baltimore and DC area. We had Greg on a couple of cards, and actually one of Greg's early fights was against Keyshawn Hutchinson, who's also on the card. So Greg has all the ability in the world. It's just a matter of staying active and keeping busy. Of course, we know Greg was signed with Real Deal. They went under. I took over the contract, and I'm happy to be with Greg because I wanted to have Greg before Real Deal took him anyway. So Greg has a lot of ability, and even more so from a promoter standpoint, he fills the seats. I mean, I don't know of anyone. No, I can't say anyone, but there's not a whole lot of people here on the East Coast that can fill seats like Greg Outlaw can. He really, when I say he fills seats, he puts them in. He puts them in the seats. And this is in Philadelphia. People are driving 2 hours from the D.C. and Baltimore area to come see him fight. So it's going to be exciting. It really is. And I'm excited that he's back. He's healthy. He's strong. He's been at it. And so it's going to be a fun night. And you wait to see how those people go crazy over Greg Outlaw.
Okay, a question I have for Greg. Kings Promotions has had a ton of success, and obviously, if you look at both main events, it features fighters from the DMV area. Devar, who's from Frederick, Maryland, Gents from Hagerstown. A lot of great fighters who have Michael Fox comes to mind from that area, and Kings Promotions has had a ton of success with fighters from that area. Talk about that. Do you feel you're the next guy to kind of break through the Kings Promotions / DMV area kind of cycle there?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a funny thing. Michael Fox is like that's my stablemate. That's like my brother. So we have the same coach. You know what I'm saying? We've been training with each other since we were like 15. Blood conviction closer, and those other two guys you mentioned, they've been at my gym. Well, I saw them spar like last, at my gym. So I know all them guys well, but I am the next. I could be the next. I like the way Marshall pushes guys, and he got plenty of connections, which will help me in my career. Like he said, I'm just trying to stay active and stay healthy. So, which I've been doing. I've been taking taking care of my body a lot more than I have in the past. I took it, not taking up for granted. Just taking them one day at a time, one step at a time, and I'm pretty sure I'll be there next.
And that takes us to our main event. So before I introduce the fighters, obviously I'll say the names, and I want maybe Marshall and maybe Andrew to maybe if you guys want to take one fighter, talk about the main event. We got Blake Mansfield, 7-3-1, 4 knockouts out of Burlington, North Carolina, taking on, I call him Dr. Devar Ferhadi, 8-0-7 knockouts. Devar's got a tremendous story, 8-0-7 knockouts. I guess so. Well, Andrew, real quickly, what are your thoughts on this main event?
I'm extremely excited about the main event. I have something in common with Devar, being that we're both physicians, and I think for somebody to be a physician and to also be a professional boxer and a prospect who's a professional boxer that's pretty cool. I mean, I don't think there's too many guys like that around anymore. But I'm also really excited to see Blake Mansfield back because one of the last times he fought, it may have been the last time he fought, was in Harrisburg, and he fought just a 6-round war with Jamal Davis, and it was a hell of a fight. I just think this is going to be a great fight. I mean, I think this will definitely be the biggest test for Devar so far in his career. Mm-hmm. I'm expecting a great fight from both guys. I mean, this definitely is deserving of a main event status, and I don't think it's going to disappoint anybody. Both these guys' styles are going to make for a hell of a fight.
And Marshall, this seems like a fight where the winner is someone that you could, take to another platform that you've been associated with, and kind of maybe the winner will get a crack at somebody of this fight. Is that the way you kind of see this?
Oh, most definitely. Look, I mean, of course, Blake can attest to it. I signed Blake a couple years ago, and I put him in with Antoine Akins right off the bat, and he came out victorious. And Blake will tell you, and he's honest and transparent. He's his worst enemy.
Yep.
Blake has the ability to do things, and I've been trying to push Blake to get in fights with like Brandon Robinson and Christopher Brooker when I had Brooker, because I saw the ability there. and I know that he comes there. He's his worst enemy. And for the first time, I talked to Joe, who's part of his training stablemate. Joe said this for the first time he's actually been training, and he's in good shape, and he's been working hard.
Great shape.
And this is the kind of fight. Yeah, I saw that with clothes on, he was 173. So it's a great thing, you know, that he's in the gym yet. I think he might live at the gym.
I do. I do. That's exactly where I live at, the gym. Exactly.
So I'm looking forward to a great fight. Seriously, I mean, Blake is a straightforward type of guy. He can punch. He's got heavy hands. He's just, I think, like I said, he's been his worst enemy. You know, and I know he'll attest to that. Devar, on the other hand, Devar is tall, rangy, can punch, but hasn't been tested, you know, in that level either, as far as in the fight itself. So I think this is the type of fight that they both very, very much need. Blake needs this fight to be victorious in this fight, to get him back into the mix of things, and Devar needs to win this fight to keep him relevant in the 168-pound division. So it's going to be exciting. Look, every fight, like I said, from top to bottom is going to be a great fight. You know, you can't pick one of those fights on that card that's going to be, you know, something that's just going to be a blowout. Because let's face it, you know, King's Promotions we don't like those kind of fights. We like exciting fights, and we want our fighters to be the best there are in the world. You know.
So without much further ado, I know he's been trying to chime in during your soliloquy there, Marshall. Without much further ado, 7-3-1, 4 knockouts from Burlington, North Carolina. The KO King coming back to Philadelphia. Blake Mansfield.
Yes, sir.
Now the floor is yours. The floor is yours.
What's up, Mark? Yeah, pleasure to be here.
So just give us your thoughts on the fight.
I've been in camp. I'm ready. Ain't much else needs to be said. It's just I'm ready. You know. I know he is too. So let's get up and make fireworks. Feel me?
Devar's on the line with us. What do you think of him as a fighter? Do you have anything you want to say to him? He's Devar, your opponent.
I'll see you Saturday. I'll see you Friday at weigh-ins. I'll see you Saturday in the ring. I ain't got nothing else I need to say.
How important is this fight in your career? As Marshall said,
it's the most important fight. It's going. This has been the best camp. This has been the best. You know, just all around. My head's clear. I got rid of shit. You know, like I'm locked in. You know, and I'm ready. I'm ready for June 5th.
And you fought here in Philadelphia several times.
That's my second home.
So to talk about coming back to Philly, the fans, and fighting in front of a real enthusiastic, knowledgeable fight crowd. Talk about that.
It's a different feel, man. It's a different vibe. It's a different, you know, it's a different energy in that ring when you're in there with a Philly crowd. You know, these are people that, you know, Philly is what you call a boxing state. So, you know, when you get these kind of fans in there that just truly love boxing and know what to look for, you know, it makes a really exciting, you know, fight, you know. So, you know, I'm excited and I'm ready to get back to the front of the Philly fans and get up there and make my name even bigger than what it is. You know, it's time to show up and show out.
There you have it. And then the man who'll be across the ring for you this Saturday afternoon, beginning 3 o'clock, 2300 Arena, live on BXNGTV.com, is 8-0, 7 knockouts from Frederick, Maryland. Like I said, we call him the doctor. He's going to, I guess you're going to try to perform some surgery on Blake on Saturday.
Yes,
Devar
absolutely.
Ferhadi, the floor is yours.
I appreciate it. Thank you. I just want to thank, you know, Marshall Kaufman, Andrew, and King's Promotions. I haven't been the easiest fighter, being, you know, overseas in medical school for such a long time, to be able to reconcile a schedule with. So I appreciate him being patient with me and setting up the proper fights to help me grow and develop as a fighter. Like you said, I'm excited, man. I mean, I came back to the States in February. I've been in camp since February. We thought we were fighting in April. So I've been ready to fight in April. You know, we were in talks with Marshall for a fight coming up towards the end of April. So I was ready, on point, on weight at the end of April. And he told us June. I said, okay. You know, we made it clear to him that we wanted an opponent that was going to give me a run for my money, so to speak. And it seems like my opponent is up for that challenge. I know Blake is I know he's at a point in his career where he needs a win. Not just he needs a win, but if he gets a win over an opponent like me, it would really catapult his career. And that's going to stoke a fire under him. It's going to make for a great fight. I just want to thank, Powerhouse MMA out in Frederick. They've been helping me a lot, accommodating me. Champions in Rockville, Ashburn Boxing Academy down in Ashburn. We've been getting a lot of good work in there since, like I said, since February. I've just been eager, to get in there. I took care of a medical licensing exam I had to do last year in America to put that to the side and focus on boxing, training full time with boxing. And everything I've done so far up until now, 7-0, has really been part-time. And this last fight that I've been working on just every day with my coaches, in the ring, sharpening my tools, sharpening everything out, making sure that every punch has, bad intention, so to speak, just to make sure I make the fight as exciting as possible. I'm not in there. A lot of fighters get in there to, showcase a certain type of boxing skill. And although that is definitely my intention as well. I think my record will attest to the fact that we come in there with a style that brings entertainment to the ring, brings drama and everything, so to speak. So yeah, I'm just excited to have an opponent that's ready, that's game, that's ready to bring it on. And I'm ready to do so as well. I'm really excited.
You're still,
Mark,
yeah.
Mark, I have to chime in here. Devar and his coach Jason reached out to me a few months ago, and they said, look, they don't want to fight any easy fights. They want tough fights, and you have to respect that. Not every fighter wants that. Every fighter, they want to pad the record. They want to move on so they can look for the bigger and more lucrative paydays. Devar and Jason both said to me that they want the tougher fights, and who else can I find that's as tough as Blake Mansfield? Blake comes and he tries and he's there to rumble with you, and so it's going to be exciting. I'm telling you, I'm extremely excited for that fight.
Yeah, Blake, not Blake, Devar, he's still just 26 years old.
Sure.
I mean, you feel that you haven't really, and especially because of all the time that you've had to take off due to your studies and whatnot, you feel that you have even scratched the surface, yes, of what you can be.
I was in med school for 6 years. So yeah, I'm 26. I turned pro in 2012, but I've had a very unconventional road through this boxing sport. So no, to answer your question, no, I haven't. I think for the most part, just looking back and reflecting, it's pretty remarkable to be where I am at this point. 26. You say it's young. At the same time, I feel a little bit of a fire under me, a little bit of a pressure, and that's why we reached out to Marshall. And as he can attest to say, the things that we did. I mean, we told him we'd be ready for anyone. Whoever he has in his stable that he thinks and we believe would be a good fight, a tough matchup, bring it forward. And that's exactly what I have in front of me. It says Blake Mansfield over there. It says his record over there. I see, Mike Tyson. I see Floyd Mayweather. I see whoever it is in front of me as the best possible opponent that it can be, because that's who mentally I've been preparing for. So yeah, I'm 26. A good age, but I've been through, a little bit of a unparalleled road to the top of this sport, or to be determined to the top of this sport. So yeah, I'm still developing, I'm still learning, I'm still getting my wits about me, but it's time to turn it on, man. I mean, I was in school, I'm not in school anymore. I got my exam out of the way, it's time to turn it on.
Yeah, and questions I've asked somebody like Joseph and Blake, who have, were quote outsiders who are now fighting in Philadelphia. I know you fought in Philadelphia. I believe your last fight, I think, was at the 2300 arena. Talk about fighting in this great fight city.
I love Philadelphia, man. It has a very, very charismatic vibe to it, downtown. But at the same time, I think anyone who's from the city or has been to the city knows it has a very abrasive and gritty personality to it in certain spots. So that lends itself a lot to the fight culture there. So you can see a little bit of glitz and glam and nice stuff on Main Street, and at the same time, that Philly is no city to mess around with. So it gives you a little bit of the grit to get you in the fighting mood, and it gives you a little bit of something to look forward to if you can get the job done, to enjoy a night out on the town.
I live in Philadelphia. I take offense to call me a
No.
I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. So I want to just get everyone one more last quote in. We'll start with Khadir Albright. Just give us a final thought before we see you. I don't know why you're not showing up on the screen here.
Well, Mark.
Okay, I don't know why he's not on my screen. One last Khadir before we see you on Saturday afternoon at 3:00.
Y'all can see me?
Yeah, I see you, Q.
Oh, all right. Y'all could expect a knockout.
I don't know why I can't hear him.
Mark, that's something wrong on your end.
I have no. I hear everyone else.
Yeah, I hear him too.
Go for it.
All right. What y'all could expect is a brilliant performance. I'm going for the knockout, but I trained so hard that I just don't want to knock him out. Like, I trained so hard for this fight that I'm going to showcase a lot of my skills, a lot of my boxing abilities. But I'm really a puncher, but, I'm going to showcase everything I got. I work hard for this fight.
Mark?
Okay. Joseph Jackson, just give me a final thought.
First, I want to thank God, man, 'cause without him, none of this be possible. But you should expect you to come out and just be victorious, man. Like I said, I trained hard for this fight. I've been training for about 3 months, been in 2 different camps or whatever. But man, you should just expect Action Jackson, man. A lot of action from me. You know what I'm saying? I'm coming straight out and showcasing whatever I got in me, man. That's it.
There you have it. Next up, as soon as I get my thing, Greg Outlaw. Give us a final thought, Greg.
Final thought is I'm just happy to be back. Like you said, thank God that I'm back.
Yes, sir.
I'm gonna leave it all in the ring. As you already know, I'm gonna bring the people. I'm gonna get the people what they want to see, and I'm gonna leave it all in the ring. I never leave enough regrets, and that's about it. And just thank Marshall and the team for having me back.
I'm glad you're back too, Greg.
Appreciate it.
Okay, and we just head to our main event. Blake Mansfield, just give us a final word.
I'm excited. I'm ready. It's a couple of days. Thank you, Marshall, for believing in me, sticking with me, and I'm excited to put on the show, man. You know what I'm saying? I got my old school swag with my new school ways, so we getting ready to rock out, and I'm coming to win.
That's what I like to hear, my man.
And then last but not least, Devar Ferhadi.
Yeah, I'd like to add to it. I'd like to thank God, thank my family and team, thank King's Promotion to sticking with me, standing behind me, and it's going to be a razor sharp night on Saturday night. It'll be a fun night, electric.
Saturday,
yes,
your Saturday afternoon. Don't say Saturday night, because the fans coming at night looking to see you won't see you.
Sounds like a plan.
It'll be early evening, Mark.
Andrew, Marshall, any final thoughts? Either of you guys?
Go ahead, Andrew.
So, just quick story real quick on one of the fighters here, Khadir Albright. I've not even officially met Khadir yet, but when Marshall and I feel like we talk quite a bit. I'm not a person that likes to talk all that much on the phone, but I don't, even as much as we talk, I don't stay abreast of everything going on. And when he told me that we were signing Khadir, I remember saying, oh, wow, that was never even like a thought. I didn't know he was turning pro, and I saw him in a Golden Gloves event a couple years ago. So people really need to, they should tune in to watch the whole card, but I think that he's going to be a special fighter, and I'm really excited that we were able to make that signing. So I just wanted to throw that out there real quick. But, yeah, I'm really excited. I mean, this show is going to be awesome, and it's a great way for us to start back in Philly.
And Marshall, I guess you want to tie a bow on this thing.
Well, look, I mean, it's like what Khadir said. He likes to go for the knockout, but he's going to put on a show. Greg's happy to be back. Joe's excited. Kayshawn's excited. We don't have Kayshawn on here, but Kayshawn's excited. Blake's excited. Devar's excited. Everybody, look, from top to bottom, is excited to be back. And who wouldn't be excited? Pandemic's just about, it's over. We're going to bring the house. We're going to light it up. We're going to, when the people from the DMV area, just keep a lookout for Blondie. Okay, that's Greg's mother. Okay, and she's going to be the loudest one in that building. You watch. But it's going to be fun, man. It's going to be a fun night, and afterwards we all can just enjoy one another, and it's part of a journey. Everybody, the guys that are fighting each other, like Blake against Devar, it's a journey, man. And should the best man should win, and the same goes for everybody else. It's a journey that we're all on, and 20 years, 30 years from now, we'll be sitting back talking about this, to your grandchildren or your children or whatever else may be. But I'm looking forward to it. I really am.
Real quick programming note. Well, first of all, again, 3 p.m. if you want to see these gentlemen fight. If you can't be on the scene, like I said, bxngtv.com. Are there any tickets left, Marshall, for the afternoon?
The only tickets that are left, there's about 20 tickets at $50 a piece.
So you better get them. You can, you can get them at, Pivot Boxing, if I'm not mistaken.
No, they actually have to just call the 2300 Arena. They're the only ones that have them left now.
So there you have it, just 20 tickets left. And like I said, programming note, we'll be doing a similar thing tomorrow night, same bat time, same bat channel, 7 p.m. Eastern with Brandon Robinson and Jens Plana plus Jonathan Rodriguez. We'll get a couple other guys, James Bernadine, maybe another fighter or two on the card. So we'll be hyping the 8 o'clock show. So after you have a snack after the 3 o'clock show, maybe if you're in Philly, go down to Tony Luke's, get yourself a cheesesteak, come right back to the 2300 Arena.
Hey, Mark, did Tony Luke pay you for that?
No, but that's the only thing. It's either that or Boston Market. You turn left. So.
Oh my goodness, Mark.
But here's the thing, Marshall. We got to keep them in the area.
I agree. Look, guys are going to have fun. It's going to be DMV area and North Carolina in the house. You watch.
And then when the tickets get sold out, which I'm sure they're about to, if you watch both of them on the stream, so that's like a 2 pizza day. You have a little pizza for lunch and microwave it for the nightcap.
Both of them at the same time.
And you get your favorite, get a 6-pack, and you'll be good to go. So it's a full day and night of boxing. I want to thank all the fighters for being here tonight, taking some time out of their last-minute preparations. Thank Andrew Foy, Marshall Kaufman. They'll be back with me tomorrow night. And thank everyone for watching the stream. And have a good night. We'll see you on Saturday.